Hello YouTube, it's Rachel and I want to welcome you to part 2 of Artist's Way Wednesday. We're now doing this on Wednesday because I'm the boss of this and it's Wednesday now. Artist's Way Wednesday! So I'm going to start today's video with my thoughts on the chapter, and I think she understands the creative process very well. That is, I read the chapter the beginning of the week and last night when I was planning this video out, and the things that come up in the chapter are really prevalent in this part of the creative process and helping yourself. So reading everything after I did this week's work was pretty helpful. I'm just going to come out and say it, this week has been a challenge for me. She talks about skepticism and doubting yourself, and that's basically what I've done all week. I don't think I did it completely consciously, but it's been a harder process than last week in terms of me writing every day and me doing my reading and me doing my tasks. I've been kind of a procrastinator on this, and that's not good. But reading the chapter last night told me that I shouldn't let myself be discouraged. I should just keep going on and not let my doubts get in the way of everything. I was doubting this vlog series. I was doubting doing this at all. I was doubting my music. I was doubting crafting. I was doubting my fashion. I was just questioning all of this creative energy that I've been putting out into the universe. And it's not good. It's not good at all. So I need to just keep on keeping on, pushing myself, trying my hardest, because it's not going to be easy. Changing isn't easy, and as a person that tries to change all the time to be a better version of myself, it's always a struggle, and even if you're getting somewhere, it might not be as far as you want to get. So after the section that addresses the self-sabotage that comes in this part of the process, the new part of the process after you do the first week where all the negative emotions come in, she talks about poisonous playmates. There's a concept last week that I accidentally left out, and it's treating your inner artist as an artist child, because the artist inside of us is as innocent as a child, is as fragile as a child, and has the same amount of potential as a child. So we have to treat it with respect. So poisonous playmates are the people in your life who put their artist child in the sandbox with your child because they haven't been nice to their artist child. Their artist child is unruly and repressed and unhappy. They're unhappy, and so they give you all this advice that you don't need because they mean well. But it's important that you have to protect yourself because you're the only person that you can count on 100% of the time to do that. I mean, it's not always going to be perfect, and you might be mean to yourself sometimes, but it's important for you to try. The next section of the chapter is called Crazymakers, which kind of elaborates on poisonous playmates, but to the nth degree. It's funny because a couple weeks ago, going to a drag show with my friend Jessica, I had this conversation with her about the exact same topic. Half a year I was involved with someone that I gave so much energy to. I cared so much about his friendship and what he thought of me and being a good friend. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt every single day. Every time he hurt me, I told myself it's not, he probably doesn't understand that he's hurting me. He's just probably hurt inside. But yeah, I'm getting a little emotional, I'm sorry. A few good times do not make up for neglect. I put so much work into this friendship and I supported him on everything. I found out when I was going to leave that he had held probably everything I ever said against me, everything I ever did to build him up, and he just held on to this anger. Every time I had a problem with him, I was an adult and I sat down with him, and he even held that against me. The fact I tried to resolve conflict. There's just these people that, despite all your efforts, will keep you around because of how good you make them feel. I've had so many of these people in my life, and it always ends up the same way. Them taking everything that I have and just leaving, or in this case, which is probably one of the proudest moments of myself, of my life, me saying, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, Crazymakers take your energy. They do things on their terms. They don't do things on your terms. They make it crazy. It's task time. That I did was this thing called a life pie, and let me show you what it looks like. So this is a graphic representation of where I feel fulfilled. The pie slice to the left of the word corresponds to the word itself, so I feel very fulfilled in work and spiritually, and moderately fulfilled in terms of friendship and adventure. Maybe not so much romance, but adventure. Where I still need to do some work is with play and with exercise, so I should probably do both maybe at the same time. So yeah, it's my life pie. Last week we were supposed to write 5 imaginary lives. Oh, voice actor. I've been kind of doing a little voice acting on, like I did it on the photojournalism I did last week. Actress. It's part of being an opera singer, but just doing some straight acting, so I'll just work on some more monologues. Being an artist, like being a fine artist, like drawing and stuff. You do more portraits, because I love to do it. Therapist. I tend to be a therapist in my daily life. It's just finding people to support you back, you know, because that's what friendship is. And surprisingly, last week I put down wedding planner, so I guess I'm Pinteresting a lot of wedding things. I don't know. I just think weddings are romantic, and maybe it's kind of positive that I'm thinking about them. Not specifically for me though, but just in general. Okay, lives that I have for this week are interior designer, and I've been looking at every home site anyway to try to pick out some decor. Stylist. I've also been looking at a bunch of clothes, so I kind of been planning outfits in my head that I will pick out when I have more money, because I've just been, I have enough clothes, let's just say. Psychic. Well, I don't believe that every person who says they're psychic is psychic, but I believe that intuition is a very strong thing, so I just want to get more in touch with my intuition. Cook. So I want to make a recipe once a week, like a new one, not just Brussels sprouts. And crafter. I like crafting, even though I have stupid hands. So, and then I just make a list of 10 changes that I've learned what I'll make, and one of them is to just make a recipe every week and do some origami and draw and write. So, yeah. So, how did I do this week? I already said that it wasn't the best week. I wrote 5 times out of 7 this week, but I didn't write long enough. I wrote a couple days I wrote 3 pages, but most of them I wrote 2 pages, and in 2 days I wrote 1 page. It's just it's been hard, and I think it's supposed to be hard at this point of the process. Did I go on an artist date? I did. I went to Chestnut Hill, Germantown Avenue, and explored, went in all the shops, got some ice cream, treated myself. I bought a really beautiful piece of art that I'm going to hang in my new house, and it's going to inspire the colors in my room. So I'm happy about that. Here's that picture. It's papaya art. Any emotions that came up? Plenty. I think I've addressed all of them very well. I'm full of emotion, so I guess it's time for me to spend the rest of the night editing this. So thank you for joining me, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'd love you so much if you did that. Like this if you liked it, and I love you lots.